everything that we have right now. I have a microphone issue on another channel, so I'm getting that fixed real quick. Check. All right, that's fixed. All right, so sorry about that. Needless to say, we looking at the numbers. So tonight we have the Pacers that opened up at -3 versus the Hornets, and now that line's down to -1.5 versus the Hornets. Obviously, we don't have any results to look at from yesterday, so just kind of covering some things. Celtics are opened up at -2. They're now -1.5 also. And the Wednesday game, the Grizzlies -3 versus the Spurs has actually increased to -4. And the Lakers -7 versus the Warriors has come way down to -5 as people look like they're really hammering the Warriors right now. So NHL yesterday, the favorites came out and did the deed and went 3-0, and the overs went 2-1. Favorites covering were the Bruins -140, Avs -330, although they went into the third period tied 1-1. Bruins went into overtime, and the Hurricanes handled the Preds at a -170. So far in the playoffs, favorites are 4-3 at 57.14%, and the overs are exactly the same, 4-3 at 57.14%. Major League Baseball, the Dogs went 5-4 yesterday with the White Sox, Rangers, Tigers, Giants, and Mets all winning. Huge upset there as the Rangers at a -230 over the Yankees absolutely walloped them. The overs went 5-4 as well, so that brings the favorites to a 55.17% for the season, and the unders still carrying the weight, even though the overs went 5-4 yesterday at a 50.92%. So again, if you're brand new with us, go ahead and like and share down below. We're just trying to grow our audience and really help people to be much better sports wagerers with us, as we are not here about just our picks. That's a great way for you to make some extra money and build a second income, but also teach you on how to do a lot of this stuff yourself so that you don't have to wait for us. So our Miss the Cut segment, real quick. We went unbelievably undefeated yesterday in our Miss the Cut section. So what that means is we had let me get it here. All right, we had the Cubs on the money line, under 8.5 on that game, both winners. Angels on the money line, they won. Tigers on the money line, they won. That was that fun plus 140 that we liked. Dodgers and Diamondbacks under 3.5. Walker Buehler did his job, and the Diamondbacks did theirs. NHL, Avalanche on the money line. That was a huge number. That's why we stayed away from it. They won, and the Avs Blues over 5.5 got those. So our picks that missed the cut today, we got 8 of them on the MLB side, 4 of them in the NHL, and 1 in NBA. So I'm going to go through these really quick so that we can get onto our next segment. So Padres -1.5. Padres -1.5. They have better pitching. The lineup's clicking. Rockies are 2-16 on the road. However, the Rockies have always found a way to really tick me off, to say the least. Plus, Rockies yesterday got shut out, so just didn't really like to go there too much today. Giants on the money line. Like the starting pitching matchup against the Reds. However, people are saying fade the Giants right now, but that's why I kind of stuck away from it. Red Sox, they opened up at plus 130, and they're now down to 114, which means there's a ton of money coming on them, and it just might not be a good enough value for you there. And the Red Sox under 8, the wind's blowing in, and we just think it's going to be a lower scoring game. However, not enough. And again, these picks here are just to help you maybe lean or one way or the other. Again, we looked at them, but they just didn't fit what we were looking for. Tiger Mariners under 7.5. Neither team scores a lot of runs, and the starting pitching and bullpens are going to hold this down. Cubs on the money line, home dog. Like that. However, Davies is a strong starter, and he can really control this game if he wanted. Pirates, this is the divisional game. Public came in on the Cardinals. And now the contrarian bet is the play of the day, really, potentially with the Pirates. But the Cardinals being the division leader versus the lowest team in the division. Just didn't want to reach out on that one. Brewers on the money line, like the starting pitching matchup here. However, KC Bubic, and being a home dog, could really come and spoil that pick there, so we stayed away from it. NHL, we got the Flames Canucks over 6.5. And I am going to go and say it's going to be a wide open scoring to happen in his meaningless game. Maple Leafs minus 1.5, minus 159 now is a better odd to win the series than a minus 310 on the game itself here today. So maybe giving 1.5 will help your odds out. Penguins on the money line. We think they're the much better team, and also we feel that their demise was giving up goals that were kind of tricky goals there. Needless to say, they don't have the best goalies, so that's why we stayed away from it there. However, if you really like the Penguins and think that they could win the series, you could get them at a great cost right now before the series starts at a plus 138. Pacers are another one that we come out with. We opened up at minus 3. We like them as a favorite at minus 1.5 again on the Hornets, but kind of fading the public on that one there. All right, so today our results, we went 5-2 yesterday, up 1.88 units for a 71% win percentage. Overall, our win percentage is at 59.66%. And we're up 12.22 units. So needless to say, if you started with us, you would have 71 wins and 48 losses on 119 picks. Only 8 cents per pick right there. Also, in addition to that, we continue to crush the books, as now we're at just under 60%. We're at 59.9%. So we're 351 and 235, and we average a number of 7.61 picks per day. And at $9.99 over the course of the 3 months since we started this, you'd only be paying 5 cents per pick, and that's way less expensive than where you're finding else out there. And anybody who's telling you that they're at 70, 75%, I'd be very cautious. Needless to say, help us grow our channel as we have our YouTube at Sport Hot Picks, the Facebook at the Fine 9, Twitter is Sport Hot Picks as well, and then our Instagram account at Sport Hot Picks. And we're unique. We're like no other sports wagering consultant, where we want to give you all the tools to become your own professional sports handicapper. All right, lesson of the week that we talked about with Major League Baseball. Couple of things that you want to focus that you're doing here is, number one, avoid the big favorites. Anything that's over minus 200, you kind of want to watch out for, unless you're willing to give up some runs as well to get the vig back in your favor. However, be careful. The book knows that we have a bias on big favorites, and they cover themselves and they shade the line to even force it more that way. In case they do lose, they can cash in on that. And if they win, they pay a much lower percentage. If you really like this team, lay runs, like I said, to get the odds better. The next thing you should be doing when you're looking at Major League Baseball is look at division underdogs. To break even in baseball, you got to be at 52.4%. To win at the 100 minus 110 juice, if you pick the winner dogs, you could be under that at under that 52.4%. And division dogs is a great play against their own division. Like we were talking about before with the Pirates and the Cardinals. There's a divisional dog, and they are on the road, so that kind of balances it out a little bit. And we don't want to give up too much on that side. And the other thing about it is the reason why division dogs are better and they return at a higher rate is because they're used to playing that team. They're familiar with the scouting. They're used to the ballpark. They see the pitchers more often. And, there's a lot of different motivation to win within the division. And lastly, this is the one that we really bring to the table for you. This is focus on line movement. and bet against the average player and be on the house's side / the wise guys pro sides. And that's where we really work out with our algorithms. We look at from the time that the line opens up all the way to the game time or when we publish our picks. We want to do that to help you become more profitable and that type of stuff. Needless to say, track from open to close and as it moves. Teams that the line moves at 20 cents or more in one direction is the direction that you want to be looking at that in. So if you're starting and you see somebody at a minus 120 and it goes to a minus 140, that's a good look. Or if you see somebody at a plus 140 and it drops down to a plus 120, yeah, you're not getting the number that you would want on either side of those. However, as an amateur beginner bettor, getting winners is getting winners, and that's very important. To become a pro, you have to be on top of it, and you got to be right there. And that's why our service is so important, is because we bring you those winners right then and there so that you could get on that number right away. And speaking of that number, so those three things: avoid the big favorites, look for divisional underdogs, and focus on line movement, and bet against the average player and be on the houses / wise guy pro side of things. So today, our free pick of the day for you is the early game twilight matinee. Depending on where you're at, it's a 6:40 start time on the East Coast. And that's going to be the Giants and the Reds over 8. So doing a little work on it is another thing that we do here for you. Is we looked at 4 different books. We looked at the Win, FanDuel, BetMGM, and William Hill. And this is what we found with them. We have the Win at minus 8, but you're given a little bit more juice at a minus 115. FanDuel's at a 8.5 at a minus 106, so you're giving up another half a run, so you got to get to 9. You can't even push it. And minus 106, you're getting better odds. BetMGM is exactly like the Win at 8 and minus 115. And William Hill is at 8.5 and a minus 105. So great opportunity there for you to maybe find that extra point that you're looking for to get the 8.5 if you really feel like they're going to go over that. Our free picks of the day: higher confidence than what we have in our Miss the Cut, lower confidence than what we have in our paid picks. And our paid picks, again, 59.9% right now. All right, so, we're a handicapping service to help you guys out. The best way we can help you out is if you know about us. So first off, go and click the like button. Secondly, share this. Thirdly, comment. Put some information in there what we could do to help you out so that we could help you be a more profitable sports wagerer. I'm Tommy School, and I'm making wagers and cashing major. Have yourself a great rest of the day.